Young city cats for the week. Yeah. Cupid on back for the legs, say something. Never tell a fact that I never stay running.
Sweet. We were just watching that tweet from Conor McGregor, bro. That is so funny, bro. He's such a joker. He don't give a fuck. So he's just cut those guys from his team, but he's done it in the style of The Simpsons.
That is so jokes. He's like, Wendell, you're cut. Stefan, I like your hustle. That's why it's so hard to cut.
Mate, that's going to be such a sick fight, though. It's actually going to win. When it comes to Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler throwing down, like, is it 155 or 170? Do we know?
Well, I don't even know, because they asked him that in the Ultimate Fighter, like, sort of clips that's been shown, and he goes, no, 185, and laugh. Like you don't know yet, so he's still not supposed said.
But I mean, what's he at now, though?
What is Conor McGregor's what rank or weight?
He's weight, because he's like juiced up to the eyebrows. He just
looks his whole neck at the moment. You know what I mean? Like, he looks like he's easily 190 pounds.
I reckon he's more than that. I reckon he's about 200.
200, mate. He's a big fella
at the moment.
But Michael Chandler's a thick fella as well, you know. But it's more, it's interesting because Michael Chandler's he's ranked number 3, maybe.
I don't know.
And like Conor McGregor, he definitely ain't top 5.
No,
definitely
he's
ain't
not
top
even
5.
ranked, I don't think.
No,
anymore,
And the division, the 155 division, fuck that, bruv. It's just stacked full of killers. You've got Volkanovski can now just enter it whenever he wants. You've got Islam Makhachev, you've got Justin Gaethje, Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler. Like, the list goes on and fucking on. And we're just talking about just 5 guys that we just rattled off. Like, that's a huge division. And I don't like Conor's chances against any of them.
Nah.
Well, he's enjoying everything else too much.
Do you think, though, that the Ultimate Fighter is kind of exactly what it needs? Because it's the perfect blend of showmanship, get a play for the cameras, get a bit of money and have a jolly, but also, like, you are now training, bro. Like, you can't be giving it all this, and now you're in a room full of killers. Like, when's the last time that Conor McGregor has been in a fight camp with a room full of killers that have all got
hungry
fights
ones as well,
and they got something to prove? Like, they're inviting guys back to this.
He said that he did. It is perfect. He actually said this. He touched on this. He goes, "Oh, it's perfect because I'm engulfed in like the game." He goes, like, I'm here, like, and I'm in, like, it's around me everywhere. I'm proper, like, all in at the minute. So, like he said, it's a good sort of run up to that.
Well, speaking of money fights, we got to talk about Tommy Fury.
Oh yeah, that's today, isn't it?
It's today. So by the time this thing comes out, it will all be over. But I'm putting my Benjamins on a Jake Paul KO.
Yeah, it could well happen. We've even got a script in front of us from Dillon Danis.
Oh, from Dillon Danis. Yeah. So what? So Dillon Danis has done a tweet, right, where he reckons he's got hold of the script for how this fight's going to go down.
Yeah. I mean, he's always been trying to, like, troll on this YouTube boxing scene, and especially with Jake Paul, because Jake Paul, like, threw a toilet roll at his head. He was on Brennan Schaub's food truck diary.
So I've got my Benjamins on Jake Paul for a KO, but according to a script from Dillon Danis that he's managed to get hold of and tweet about Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, it's going to end in a Jake Paul decision. So if I just go and start reading this motherfucker off. So Jake Paul is going to come out to Mr. Steal Your Girl. And Tommy Fury's coming out to Sweet Caroline. But then it's going to be round 1. The fighters start off continuously catching each other here and there, and Jake Paul ends with solid left hooks of round 1. Keeps going through. Then Fury seems to be having trouble with his left eye at the end of round 4. Very interesting. Then a doctor determines that Fury can continue for round 5, get up to round 6, round 7, and then round 8. In the final moment, Paul lands a large right hand to the head inside to Fury, crashing him to the mat. So they reckon Jake Paul is putting Tommy Fury down at the end of the 8th. And
he stumbles and falls back down. The referee
and then
starts to count.
Yeah, and then Jake Paul wins by TKO. Right. So, but like, what's interesting is that we're looking at this script. It's got a lot of, like, legitimate documentation to it. It's got the address of like some really high up people in this Saudi Arabian arena. There's notes all over it. There's highlighter marks all over it.
After fight key moments as well.
There's-
Jake Paul and Tommy Fury argue with each other.
Okay.
Jake Paul calls out KSI.
KSI
Tommy
next.
Fury asks for a rematch. Jake grants it if it's in LA. Tommy agrees. Fight 2 set up.
Wow. Well, this thing ends in them getting ranked by the WBC. So, I mean, there is legitimacy to this match. There's stuff on the line. You know, there's things that have to go and really be considered here because
Which leads me to believe that's why that's fake.
you
And
think this is
Danis
fake.
is just talking shit, yeah.
Dillon Danis, bro, is just the wet fart of combat sports, bro. Like he's everything that he had going for him, and this was all like a long time ago. It's just toileted, bro. Bellator, like Scott Coker is fucking fuming that he never took anything seriously. And when he had that KSI fight, Dillon Danis dropped out. He had no coach, no team, no sparring partners, and his nutrition was completely all over the gaff, and then it just fell through.
He says it's because he doesn't trust anyone. I was thinking, what does that mean? What does that mean? Like, so you don't trust anyone to teach you boxing?
And you're talking about a sport
Or
where,
does
let's
that
face
just mean
it,
no one wants to do it?
martial arts is about like your loyalty and respect and your ability to have brothers in arms that you trust with, right? And that's purely based off of, we didn't know each other before this, never fucking met you guys in my life, but purely based off of just we're in this arena of learning skills together and sparring. We understood we aren't going to fucking take each other's like faces off. We've got a Tuesday to deal with next. And he can't see, and he's a professional and he can't find no one. It's just
I'm one of
balmy.
the rare people that sort of like I'm rooting for him to come back and make a comeback and sort of like sort himself out, but he's making it hard for me. Like, you know, he makes it hard for people who try to sort of like see that side of him.
But what kind of comeback do you want him to have? Like, do
Just
you ever
have
want to
a
see him as a champion? Or
respectful-
do you, a respectful career?
Yeah,
isn't it,
just a
really?
respectful career. You know, like even if he did go out there and fight and lose, you'd at least have the last few years to blame it on.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's not obviously been all there, sort of probably mentally.
Well, look, this fuckwit is never ever going to go and get any kind of like sports contract again. I don't think Dillon Danis. He's got a lot of work to go and do.
It's a shame.
You know
It's a
what I mean?
shame.
But
he was a talented dude. Really.
he was. But now Jake Paul and Tommy Fury had the chance of a WBC placement. Like, that's a big deal. Like, that means that you could either have a YouTube star be potentially in the fray for a world title contendership, or you can have a guy that's got half a Fury name and made his fortune and his like name worthy, not through his Fury name and his accolades in boxing, but through Love Island and being shacked up to a girl that represents sweatshops. And that's how he's now in world title contention. It's crazy.
I think Jake Paul's got the chops.
I think he does.
Yeah.
The way he knocks people out, he cracks motherfuckers.
I feel like, he's kind of, he's done it the other way around to Tommy Fury. You know, Tommy Fury started in boxing and started going into the media.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's come from the media into boxing, and I think he's just going to fucking roll. He's going to keep rolling.
The thing is, like, it's undeniable. Everyone wants to keep giving them shit because they're YouTube fighters, but these YouTube fighters have saved boxing. They really have. And then you've got to go
how
and
many
think,
kids are going to take up boxing now.
Yeah, exactly.
That
And
wasn't
that's what I
gonna.
mean. It's not just the viewership. I mean, actually, like you just said, uptake in boxing. But the thing is, now you're thinking about, okay, who's more valuable to the profession of boxing with a win? Half a Fury or a Jake Paul? You've already got a very good Fury. You're better off with a young, vibrant Jake Paul that is fully vexed into it. And then you think, okay, so what is the ranking they get after this? It's a WBC ranking. And then what else is the WBC up to? They're fucking appealing. They're allowing
How
Conor
far
Benn's
down
appeal.
Does the rankings go, like sort of numbers wise, do you reckon?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know
Like,
how
what
far
would
they
they
would
be
go.
ranked
I mean,
like?
there's a top, isn't it? There's a top like 25 in like
Right.
UFC, I
That's
swear.
good, yeah. But I was going to say, was it like a top 150 or something? I
Could
reckon
be,
something like
but it wouldn't be hard for a Jake Paul to go and climb those ranks
that.
in the time frame. But then I was just saying about this WBC, right? WBC are the same boxing arm as the ones that are allowing to Conor Benn to win the appeal for testing hot when it was what they said it was clomiphene, and now Conor Benn turn around to go and say it's because of a high consumption of eggs, and they're like, yeah, cool, that's fine.
I bet his farts stink.
Just deep fart, mate. The
I bet
eggs,
he's clearing rooms.
the eggs he must have been happy having him must have been from like the fucking dinosaur era to go and pull up those ostrich eggs, bro. Just all ostrich eggs.
Yeah,
mate. Komodo dragon eggs.
There is an egg you can't eat, and it would show up on drugs test. Though, I swear, it's something like that, like an ostrich egg. I think it's something like that. I might be wrong. I'm sure I've heard something like that.
But bro, clomiphene is used by like women during pregnancy, and his wife was pregnant, and it's all in the fucking cabinets, and he was testing positive for clomiphene. So don't fucking tell.
She accidentally put it in the wrong mouth.
I don't know. It's supposed to be some sort of prohibitor of some sort of hormone that would obviously be beneficial to him to prohibit. If it's I don't know. I don't understand the science of it, but I mean, clomiphene is also something that John Jones pissed off for as well in the UFC.
But did you hear that what he was tested for positive for then wouldn't count now?
Yes, I saw that. John Jones is potentially going to get cleared of all of his or not all of them, but quite a few of his drug charges, which meant that
he was telling the truth. He intended to
be under the line.
Well, this is another one. It's either is he telling the truth that he never done dirty, and these things that have popped up, it turns out they weren't really meant to have popped up, or has he done the most extreme version of what is potentially dirty and borderline, and someone just down the road has gone, just tick it.
Yeah,
because you see this fucking shit happen all the time.
Well, it's obviously going to happen with McGregor's fight, because it's not his fight's not going to be in 6 months' time, which is now February in 2023.
There is no testing.
That's what I'm saying. For that fight, I think
None.
he's going to get away with whatever he wants.
Just the sound of him unzipping his fly would melt the cup.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He is on all of the Mexican deodorant that money can buy, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Dude, he's got Iranian dental floss. You fucking name it, bro. Conor McGregor is going at it with the dirty. But
He's
man,
he's been in the film.
Roadhouse.
Dude, Roadhouse is such a good film.
I'm buzzing.
I can't against Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, I think they're. I don't know
the buddies.
I think they might be buddies. I don't know if Conor McGregor is going to be the bad guy.
Conor McGregor's got to be the bad guy. He's got to be he's got to be top henchman. Please have him be the guy that gets the throat pulled out of him in the end. Because remember in the movie how like the guy's getting all of his boys tuned up, so he brings in his ultimate bad guy, and the ultimate bad guy walks through and smacks the fuck out of all of the bouncers, apart from Patrick Swayze, because Swayze's banging the bird.
I can't believe he's the guy that's so hard for some reason.
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze. So
from
solid.
was it from Dirty Dancing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Dirty Dancing and Ghost. To then just throat chucking people, bro. I love it.
Double hard in that film.
How many steroids do you reckon Gyllenhaal's going to have pumped into him? Because Conor McGregor looked thick, bro, like 230 pounds. You know?
Yeah, his neck was just ridiculous.
Dude, you're just giga. Like he's taking shit that makes his jaw grow. You know what I mean? He's got a brand new fucking chin strap.
What's it called? Human growth. That's
human growth hormone.
Yeah, that makes your chin grow. That's why they reckon Jake Paul has a fucking big beard.
Dude, he is definitely testing.
Because John Fury was like, "You look like Cat Weasel."
Didn't John Fury also go and put that bet down as well, all or nothing?
Yeah, that was such a
So now it's going to be either a penniless Jake Paul or it's going to be a Tommy Fury stuck in Saudi Arabia with no surname.
Oh, man. That's what Tyson Fury was like, "Oh, you can go be Ronaldo's PT or something like that. You can go stay out there."
Bro, that Saudi money's no joke. I know we spoke about it last time about Cristiano's pay, but I mean, just these fuckers, they're just all at like that World Economic Forum. All these fucking people just with money, just spending shit, doing whatever the fuck they want.
Got ridiculous money.
That WEF, man, I don't. No, man. They want us to eat bugs, have a centralized digital currency, you'll own nothing and be happy about it. And these fuckers are just, they're
Sounds
just
like North Korea, doesn't it?
bro, it sounds a lot like all of those fucking dark dynasties and dark fucking dictatorships, bro. But the funniest one that's come out is, you know, they do it in like Switzerland every year, yeah? They've literally shown there's an influx of prostitutes whenever these things go down. And you're like, these motherfuckers are just cowboying it out. They're just, they're strapping,
They do
like,
what they like, don't
mate,
they?
they're
Just do
injecting
what the fuck they like.
adrenochrome into them from a vat in fucking, like, you know, like just wherever, and then they're just going to town on all these like prostitutes, bro. Whilst they're
It's
telling
fucking
you
crazy.
how you are going to go and no longer have steak. How dare you? You are ruining the environment. You need to go and eat a fucking cockroach baguette, bro.
Man.
Like, god
Yeah,
damn
eating
it,
bugs
bro.
is crazy.
Eating
so they're going to
bugs,
start
bro.
introducing that to people's food over the next couple of years.
But how can they do that and be like, it's because of the environment, you're fucking the environment because you shop at Sainsbury's? Meanwhile, these motherfuckers get private jets to places and have just, like, you can just imagine just the what's the sin, the gluttony
Yeah.
of that kind of festival, right? It's just roasted ducks and turkeys, and then get a
Like
stripper
Henry
come
VIII with
over.
a big
Yeah.
fucking turkey
Yeah,
leg
mate.
in his
Like the
hand.
last days of Rome kind of shit. You
Big
know what I mean?
fucking
Satanic
fat
rituals.
motherfucker.
Yeah, just getting a fucking leaf and just
Cloaks.
plunging the food down and getting the one.
Oh,
Oh no, no!
what a dark, seedy world.
It is, man. Like, look at that Klaus
Oh.
Schwab, man. He looks like fucking Darth Vader's principal.
I bet
Right?
they wear
Big,
capes.
greasy, fat hands.
Oh, God.
Yeah, wearing
I think you'll find that our young politicians great vision for the future. And you're just like, no, like, not happening. Like, oh my God. It's just, no, it's fucked, bruv. It's just so fucked. Like, how can they be in charge? No one elects them. They're all private companies. Then the WHO, they're in charge. No one elects them. And then every world government we have, you're just like, you guys suck.
Yeah.
You guys suck. They're doing World War III anniversary parties now. You seen that shit?
Who?
Joe Biden, bruv. He's gone to Poland. It's 1 year to the anniversary of Russia. I say as if I'm saying anniversary to talk about war, bruv. Right? But it's been 1 year to when Russia invaded Ukraine, right? And so they've had a party in Poland where Joe Biden's gone out to, and he's there, and there's yellow and blue lights everywhere, and he's going, and we will let them know they will never take Ukraine for free. And you're like,
Then he shotgunned a beer.
then you shot. But he's just like, what the fuck, man? Like, when did we ever, during this Iraq stuff, this Afghanistan stuff, the Falklands stuff, any of that, was there ever a, hey guys, and year two's come around, so, you know, Red Nose Day, let's get some comic relief going. Right? We never did any of that shit. And now they're literally doing a song and dance party routine to celebrate 1 year of war. Meanwhile, there's Chinese spy balloons over America. There's fucking trains derailing God knows toxic what else into every fucking land there is in America. Like in Tennessee, that uranium plant blew up.
Oh.
Uranium in Tennessee leaking.
When did this happen?
This week. Meanwhile, Biden's in Poland having a fucking party. And
Uranium.
Trump's going around, mate, and Donald Trump is going around to all of these places where shit has happened because none of the other governors are. And people are interviewing Trump and go say, Mr. Trump, any words for Joe Biden? And he just turns around and says, get here. And then
Do you know what the craziest
Get
thing is?
here.
I see an interview with Trump the other day, and he was saying about if he was president and this wouldn't have happened. He said he's been pushing against NATO, pushing their sort of territory towards Russia for a long while. He's been advising them to stop for ages. And Trump's time in charge, he wasn't really like, he wasn't at all like war hungry. Do you know what I mean? Like he was good for that, like really good for that. And he said that to NATO, like he was having discussions, like saying like just stop because this is going to end in such like bad like results. And look what's happened.
Well, look at where we are. Like in the time that Obama was president, Russia took Ukraine. In the time that Trump was president, everyone said that Trump was having ties with Russia. No shit happened with Russia.
Man, he was chilling with King Jong-un. He was chilling. Like,
then Biden was president, and now we've got World War III. And then it turns out that all the people that were saying that Trump was colluding with Russia They were the ones colluding with Russia, and they never made it on the news because CAN is fucking corrupt. MSNBC, fucking corrupt. They're all just in the fucking pocket. They don't turn around and apologize when they get the news wrong. They don't turn around and go and say, actually, all the vaccines, they're not 100% proof. They don't turn around and say, actually, the mandates were a bit bad. They don't turn around and say, yeah, some of these mandates have now made children obese. But no, now that the children are fucking obese, Pfizer get to come out with a brand new medication that if you're over 12 years old and you're obese, we got a pill for you for life, a lifetime medication. Yeah. For 12-year-olds, obese 12-year-olds. And no one is talking about, why don't you just go and, get them doing some exercise? That's the
craziest thing is that I've always said that in every country, if they've got sports facilities, every under 18 kid should be able to have access to that to stop the obesity, rather than
you would think,
rather than some other sort of pill or a fucking
pill.
You know what I mean?
But what is this whole
injection?
The injection. But they've literally said with this medication, right? If you stop this medication, there are side effects that we don't know. There is a side effect to your metabolism that is yet to be researched. I'm like, so you've got a drug that if I stop your drug, my metabolic rate, literally my lifeline, potentially has consequences that you don't know about, but you know that this drug will stop my kid being obese. Okay, so how are you going to stop my kid being obese with this drug?
Completely functions differently.
Have you heard what they does? You don't just lose fat, bro. You lose 30% bone density and 30% muscle. It chews off your muscle. They basically injected you with the scarab beetles from the mummy. You know that shit? Bro. Yeah. Like, no.
The guy with the hat gets locked in.
Dude. When I first saw that movie and it burrows into the skin and he's like, and he get the knife and pulls it out of him. Like, where did that come out from, bro?
The guy was so tired, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's the most tired guy you've ever seen.
Yeah, they're the sort of moments in films when you're kids that stick with you.
Yeah.
You see it, you think,
like the Predator and the Scorpion. When he's looking at the Scorpion through his like Predator vision, and you're just like,
when he takes his mask off, that always stuck with me.
Yeah,
he starts screaming.
That for the first time ever. The first time you saw the 4 kind of bipedal jaws sort of thing. Just
did you ever see Jesse Ventura was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And Arnold.
Yeah. I know what you're going to tell me.
Arms,
yes. Yeah, Jesse Ventura. What was it? Like, he went to the dressing room and Arnold said, tell Jesse he's got the bigger arms. And so, Jesse was like flexing around all day. And Arnold just gets a tape measure, just Fatuga! Like, just fuck you, bro. Stay in the co-star realm, bro.
He was full to believe.
Jesse Ventura was also in Running Man with him as well. Yeah, he was in Running Man. I love Running Man, bro. It's my favorite film. It's that yellow spandex. I'm just like, I want one of those.
Jesse Ventura.
I'm a running man. I'm running.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that was sick, that film.
Mate, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone was like the ultimate period of action heroes, bro. It was just so good.
Arnold all day, man.
Arnold all day.
Arnold.
I love
both of them, but Arnold's the one. Just because Terminator 2. All the Terminators.
No, I know. I never saw the Terminators. I know.
You've not seen them?
No.
Seriously?
No, I've never seen the Terminators. No. I was all about Predator and Conan, bro.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man. I need to go check it out.
Number 2. How good is number 2? Still holds up today.
Terminator 1 and 2 are just fucking...
So Terminator phenomenal. 1's where he's like just the bad Terminator, right?
Yeah.
So two's when he becomes the hero.
Most people would say 2, isn't it? That's the better one, isn't it?
Yeah,
but I think number 1 as like
number 1's good.
It's close at least. If you
they just went to shit after that, didn't they? Yeah, went to absolute just shit. Oh God.
3 was.
That's when it's the bird robot in it, you know.
The new ones are they're not too bad, but it's just they should have left it alone. But they have recovered what was done, like with number 3. Number 3 was a bit crap.
But
Yeah, they're not bad.
Well, we're running out of action heroes, man. I'm telling you, like I'm looking around at what is the you know, whenever you sometimes want to be like fancy, like, yo, if you could have a film, like, how would you have it right now? I'm looking around, I'm like, nah, bruv, I'm not seeing the chop. Chris Hemsworth now doesn't act anymore. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Taking a break
Because he's got early onset of like, he's got the identifying markers for someone that could eventually suffer from like Alzheimer's or something. That's fucking horrible, man.
Yeah.
That's so shit. But then you hear about what Disney's planning to do next. And what's Disney planning to do next? Let's explore Luke Skywalker's LGBTQ plus potential. Fuck off! Like,
in this one, he sucks off Darth Vader.
I am your daddy. No!
Oh.
No, why? Why? Just make the character.
Yeah, just there. That's what I was going to say. Bring in a new character.
Yes.
Guy. You haven't got to change things.
No.
It hasn't got to be. It's almost getting shoved down your throat.
Everything's
But
right.
I'm not homophobic at all.
No.
Not at all.
No.
But
I just don't see why it's got to.
Why do you have to change
There's
stories
no-
that already
yeah.
exist?
Yeah, there's no problem with having
Yes.
gay, trans, whatever in any storyline. Just don't change what
Yes.
already is.
Yeah.
That's what is. Yeah. I don't mind like the rate, like Nick Fury was like changing race and things like that. That's,
Race
do you know what I mean?
swapping's pass and part, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's
If it is a fixed character with a likeliness in it, that sort of thing that you
Yeah.
do. So you're like this.
Well, that's it. Well, when Superman was written, no one looked around and thought Superman and Mark Lane. You know what I mean? Like, no,
Yeah.
it's Lois Lane, right? He likes a bird, right? He's a hetero. Deal with it. He's on team hetero. Really sorry that back in your day, no one ever sought to have Superman stand for, like super LGBTQ plus. No, it just wasn't there at the time. We're really sorry. Make a new story. Make a brand new story. Make your hero. Make them have the arc of how they felt being super powered or whatever it was growing up, but feeling deep down that in their personal life they weren't accepted. Because that's what all these superheroes are, man. All of them, their personal lives, they suck. Peter Parker, he sucks. He fucking hates being Peter Parker. But Peter Parker is what makes him Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But now it's like, hold on. So you want to be fabulously fabulous and loved and beloved in your normal life, and then you want to put on a fucking cape and a costume and then be extra fucking loved?
Yeah.
Like, what do you want? You just want to be a fucking dictator. You want to just have full control with a rainbow behind you. It's fucking ridiculous.
Spider-Man with tits.
Duh, bruv. What's it? Iron Trans. That's a new
actually
one,
the
right?
thing, isn't it? Yeah.
What's happening? Go on, tell us what's happening.
Iron Heart. Is the new
Iron
character.
Heart.
I think it's going to be in the costume. There's going to be a transsexual.
Never heard the character, so if they develop it, then sure,
fair
by all
enough.
means. But I'm personally, like, I get there's a lot of this whole like, you must be a homophobe, you must be a transphobe. We don't think you agree with these rights. We don't think you, and people tell you how they think you are perceived to people. I'm like, fuck you! I just want to learn. I just want, like, let me understand it. Let me see the journey of how you have came to this conclusion, because I'm clearly not like everyone. I'm a very fucking unique person. I'm batshit fucking crazy. I like to go and climb buildings and hit people as a hobby. Like, clearly, I'm not all the fucking ticket. So people would be like, Ben, how did you end up this way? You're like a gorilla with alopecia that's polite. And then she's like, yeah, I get it. It's fucking weird. I want to understand these people, but you can't, because as soon as you raise one question about why are you like this, they go all fucking up in the air. And you're a phobic. You're a racist. You're a misogynist. You're this. You're that. And you're like, no, that's not good enough. I need to learn. I need to know. Otherwise, I will never be able to accept you, because I won't just accept fucking fairy tales. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just it feels like there's knives coming in all directions. Like it takes one word and you've slipped up.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What did you say?
But
Did you see that video the other day? This guy was standing there. It was like a sign in favour of women. He was like protesting, and then some woman comes up and she's one of them.
Wait, one of them as in they belong to Team Them, or is it a different them?
They're just all they're just
Blue head.
so left.
Blue head, the
they're
trigger.
Fucking, they can't be more left than left. Right, they're just she comes up to him. She's like, "Oh, a white man defending women." He goes, "Did you just assume my agenda?" Right, we're coming to an end here, aren't we? Yeah.
Right. Okay. We'll catch you in part 2. Check it.
Hey guys, it's Luke here. We hope you're enjoying this episode, and if you want to keep up with us and support our channel, then please hit the follow, like, and subscribe buttons. It really does help us a lot. Much love.
We're back.
Sweet. We're back in for part 2. Well, I hope you guys did enjoy listening to us talk about God knows how much we got through.
Yeah.
But the story that we wanted to come back in with was what we just went and saw, like a headline flicking through my phone. And it was that Spain have decriminalized bestiality.
Yeah, what caused that to be like brought back up? And, like,
What?
they had like a raised like number
Just
of cases of
In lockdown, just a bunch of people like, yo, man, like you didn't let me go out to my bird, so like I saw the peanut butter in the dog, and I was like,
and that stray cat at a restaurant. That stray cat was looking good.
One of them petitions must have gone around on WhatsApp.
A WhatsApp petition, like, yo, man,
Yeah.
I need to be able to fuck this pussy every now and then. Oh, God.
What is going on there?
No, I mean, what is that? What could that possibly be? I get that Spain needs some tourism, and I get that Benidorm's not what it used to be, but come on, bro.
I noticed we had
Benidorm is rough, mate.
Yeah, that's definitely where it's happening. There's some English
It's
people out
in
there
Harry and Benidorm.
fucking like a goat or something like
Just
that.
a bunch of
100%.
Welsh people that were like, you know what? I've retired to this country, but there's no sheep around.
Yeah, 100%.
Switch to the goat.
100%.
But what's that
Sorry,
for?
Welsh people.
Are they placating the furry community, like the people that identify as dogs and cats and shit? Like, what's this for, bruv?
It must be popular.
The thing is,
Why would they just suddenly just legalise it? Just out of nowhere. There must have been some push for it.
We've had literally some listening happening in Spain. We've had a listener from Spain or two. I think.
Right.
If you're out there
Yeah.
and you're
Give us the
listening again,
lowdown.
please email us. Send us a message on Instagram.
Yeah.
But don't fuck the animals,
Yeah.
bruv.
Yeah,
Talk to us first.
no.
Talk to us
No, no.
first. I can't.
What is going
I mean,
on?
look, to think we've done enough to the fucking animals already. Like, wherever humans go, we just wipe them out.
Yeah.
We're just like, no. Only the ones that we've, like bred through years of like inbreeding, like chihuahuas and shit, are we going to be cool with? But we're not going to be cool with like a wolf.
Imagine if chihuahuas were just a species of animals, like just in the wild, just coming at you, biting your ankles.
But what would they actually be able to accomplish in terms of living? Because they're a meat eating animal. Name an animal that they'd be able to fucking do.
I reckon they'd have like a good even fight with a mouse. Like,
No, but rats are fucking nasty.
Yeah,
But maybe a gerbil.
Little
It
field
might be
mouse.
all right.
yeah, a proper even fight.
No, bro, but imagine if we actually had wolves going. I mean, I know you said you saw that wolf before, but like the wolves in Yellowstone.
Yeah, we just
Right.
literally just
Just watch that.
Yeah,
That was so cool. Like,
That's one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
mate, like Yellowstone National Park. That's in what state is that in America? Do you know?
California, I think.
And if they trialed returning the wolves to the environment, and not only did they start wiping out the abundance of deer that's there, but through restoring balance to the ecosystem and the food chain.
Basically, they all started because they started to like sort of lower the number of those deers, and
Yeah.
the deers moved out of that area and hid more.
Mm.
So there was like more of a balance in that area, so that it wasn't so much that they was wiping them out. It was like
right.
they lowered the numbers, but they'd moved. They'd moved them
they
out.
changed
of
their
that,
migration
yeah,
habits.
that's it, yeah. And that changed other animals like birds. Certain birds was coming in, and the
Mm.
trees were growing better because these deers and things like that wasn't.
The forest was the growing forest sort of stabilized the banks. It said
Yeah.
so the rivers were able to flow like more narrowly. I think they said.
So you know that Yellowstone's that super volcano, yeah. That like if anything happened, if that volcano erupts at Yellowstone, that's a world killer, right?
Yeah.
And they say that it erupts every X amount of years, like 100,000 years or so, right? But that only erupts every 100,000 years based on natural conditions. And so whilst the Earth, we've been doing our weird shit with the Earth, but we've kept Yellowstone as it is. We didn't keep it as it really was because we took the wolves out. So all of that degradation of the soil and of how bad the environment looked before the wolves, how much of that has sped up that clock? Because that's not from drilling into the volcano. That's from just pure, you've sabotaged the land, the lack of water running through. How much has that compromised that piece of land, that volcano even more?
Yeah.
You know?
Who knows?
Well, maybe they've worked that out as well. Maybe they've calculated, the effect that we've had on the planet.
And they thought, you know what? We need to at least get our war in with China first. We need to make a few more millions of dollars.
It's all going on.
It's all going on, baby. Like, we are really at a point where 2024, Trump could be back in office, and then the following year, war with China.
Who would win in a fight
Right.
out of Trump and Biden?
Trump all day.
Trump
Kick
all
his
day.
ass, man.
Yeah.
They're about the same age,
Stick them in diapers
Yeah.
and just,
Like
definitely
sumo diapers. Sort
Boxing
of thing.
walk Joe into the ring.
Joe Biden would start throwing punches the opposite way.
He did the ref.
He was 100.
I hit himself.
Or he'd start spelling words out like he's at a spelling bee or something.
You know, the fight would kick off and they just take their gloves off and they just get a briefcase out full of money and they just throw it at the ref's face until the ref declares a winner.
Or he'd just start smelling him.
Oh,
Because
God.
he just smells everywhere.
Imagine Joe Biden just takes your back, gets in the Donald Trump, just goes,
smelling your head. I'd be like, fucking untap. Straight away.
But imagine but dude, imagine the press conference between Trump and Joe Biden. I got the best jiu-jitsu, my boxing, I got the best coaches, all the coaches. I got Sambo, got my guy, my friend in Russia. Comes in with a freshie with one streak of blue in his orange hair.
Joe Biden would start going, I'm an African American basketball player.
Kamala Harris in his corner with the towel.
Oh,
God. No, mate, it's such a just bizarre time that these world leaders, you look at all of them and you just like, you all suck. You know what I mean? Like, when back in the day, you used to, like, you'd hear of like a Nelson Mandela, or you'd see people and you'd be like, that country's not going to shit. Like Canada as well,
Yeah, but these people that you speak of, I think they're just filtered out at the gate.
Yes.
They don't let. I think the people that get through are the ones who are willing to play ball.
Yeah.
They're willing to compromise their morals to get further. They're the ones who they need in order for this wheel to keep turning.
But then you have the stones to come out and say, hey, this is wrong. I want my freedom back, my freedom. And my freedom literally means leave me alone. I'm pretty sure that's what it means for me. I don't know what it means. I don't know in any other complex scenario or society, freedom means anything other than, please just let me be. Please let me just live my life. And I don't mean freedom be like, come on, Jim, please just let me punch you in your face.
I don't think anyone
You know
has
what I mean?
freedom though anymore. Like,
No.
I don't mean to be sounding like all like kind of conspiracy, but like
It's my
conspiracy.
wheelhouse,
But I
baby.
mean, like, it's like when my idea of freedom is not living like the people say do in China at the moment, like with COVID lockdowns. And stuff like that. But are we slowly losing that? Obviously, with this digital currency thing,
Definitely.
you know what I mean? Like you're like this vaccine sort of database sort of thing they want to sort of put in for that, and that is your freedom going. Like as much as like so that means that, say like I wanted to sell something like that I've bought. Does that mean that now we've got to go through some digital currency thing because there's no such thing as cash one day?
Yeah.
So and then like there's always a middleman, so that I'm not free to make. Do you know what I mean?
We're slowly being backed into a corner.
So we have a limited amount of
screw.
freedom, don't we? So like, we can leave our house when we want. But like you said, like,
and then here's the
slowly...
transaction fee. Here's the deduction because you were a bit behind on your mobile bill.
Yeah.
Samsung gets paid before you, Jim. You know, like it's
too much to keep up with, isn't it?
It's wrong, man. It's wrong, and it just doesn't seem to be any way out of it. And you know what it really does? It really just eliminates people's ability to protest and then say, stop doing this, because You saw about this Canadian trucker protest. They shut down their bank accounts. They shut down the GoFundMe page. And then PayPal took their accounts as well. PayPal. What the fuck is PayPal doing having a political agenda? You're there to take my money so that I'm secure. And that's their only job.
Yeah.
You are literally the online bank to just do shit.
We didn't ask them to do that.
And they got political agendas and they say yes when these things start coming. And then you go out and you say, look, I'm protesting for my freedom. I don't like this. And now all of the mainstream media corporations and the politicians are turning around saying, yeah, freedom is a word and a term that has been cleverly indoctrinated by the far right extremists, these racists, these misogynists, these anti-science, these COVID deniers, these whatever you want to call it, all the bad people in the world. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they're all from every color, creed, and race and gender in the possible fucking world. It doesn't matter that their economic levels are farly distributed because like working class, middle class, and even like, you know, some upper class. It doesn't matter that they're all from everywhere. They're still far right extremists because they are using the word freedom. You can't co-opt the word freedom. It means fucking freedom. It means leave me alone and stop doing this to me. And these bastards have managed to just put a price tag on everyone. You are no longer Luke Davis. You are no longer Jim Davis. You are file number 0001941. That is all you are. You are just a bit of coding to them. What's your name, sir? And what's your yeah, cool. All of this date of birth, your blood type, your name, your home address. It means nothing. What is your national vaccine number? What is your digital currency bank account holding? That's all that matters now.
I do wonder sometimes how long this system has been going on for. Has it been in the thousands of years? Has there been one bloodline
I reckon
controlling everything?
Well, they've got a fucking name, ain't they? It's those Rothschilds, isn't it?
And before them, maybe. But you know what? I see a picture the other day of a near on 2,000-year-old payslip from ancient Roman times. Like, and I was thinking, like, there's always like a payslip. I was thinking, like, they've got like someone in charge of these documents who's obviously, you know, like, and you've always got that structure of power that goes up. Yeah, like everything, like all this organization probably goes back so far, and there's such so many loopholes around every way like that these laws have been made ever.
And how did we come from this, from being monkeys and cavemen? You know what I mean? There's a difference between, like, let's say we're all in the society of cavemen, right? And we can all hunt. We're all very good at hunting, but you are fucking fantastic at hunting because you're 2 foot taller than all of us. So you're chief hunter, right? I am somehow really good at skinning the animals. Therefore, I'm in charge of procuring all of the fabric that goes to the girls and making sure the meat goes off to the girls going to be cooked properly. And then Jim is the perfect craftsman. He makes the shelters, right? And then from that, we then decided, oh yeah. What's my extra cut for the hunting today, please, Luke? You know what I mean? And then so we started just making like levels and like enterprise and here's your fair share. And actually, no, here's not your fair share. Let's make a currency to understand what the share will be. Let's make it gold. Let's make it shillings and dimes. Let's make it banknotes. Let's make it paper with words on it. Let's make it paper with words that you can't actually use anywhere unless you go to this building and redeem it called a check. Now let's go and do digital currency. And then you're just like, what the fuck do? I just wake up and just do shit and expect to eventually
that's where
live.
it ends, though, isn't it? It's digital currency.
Is where it ends. It is where it ends for all of us. Because by that point, you tell me what kind of actual rebellion for any one of your rights can you possibly? Let's go and say deep into the future, because we're not far off it. But let's go and say another 10 years, because that's how gradual it's going. They lower the age of consent for sex to 14. Because if trans kids can now go and have operations and surgery and be legally declare their gender the other way at the age of 12, then what the fuck is to stop saying, yeah, if they're able to give their consent on a biological procedure?
There'd be a lot of fucking politicians thinking, thank fuck for that.
Exactly.
Bastards, for fuck's sake. That's probably what they'd be
and when
thinking.
you go to that rally
All
against
the Epsteiners.
that, all the Epsteiners, all that Island 2.0 is in the fucking mix, baby. But all of that shit, and you're like, no, I'm taking a stand. Not my baby girl, not my son, not fucking happening. I'm going to Times Square. Are you, Luke? Boop.
Yeah, all your money shut off.
Done. What are you going to do now? How you going to get down there? Oh, grandma will give me some money. Cool. Boop. Grandma's done too. What are you going to go and do? Oh, I can get a fiver together. What fucking fiver? What, this fictitious fucking ethereal fiver? You got nothing.
And you know, there's only so long people can riot for before they tire out.
Exactly.
And then they're prepared for that.
And then look at the next thing they're doing on top of that, 15-minute cities. You heard of this shit?
What's that?
So it's just like it's pretty much like everywhere you go, there is already 15-minute cities. They're just like little towns, isn't it? Where it's just got everything you need. It's got like petrol station, supermarket.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Exactly. Like, say, like you live in Romford, right? How often do you need to go Lakeside, or need to go Chelmsford, or need to go Brentwood? You don't, do you? Right. Now let's go and say, yeah, Jim, cool. We've noticed that like you pretty much use like maybe 95% of your time that you're not working in Romford. Yeah. So like maybe for you to reduce your carbon footprint and to take care of the environment, you should stay there.
Imagine that.
You should stay there.
Fuck.
Tell you what, Jim, I'll give you 10 times a year for you to breach that barrier. But like if you go over that, we're going to give you what's called a carbon tax, because that's how much extra carbon that you put into the world, because you were trying to get out of your 15-minute city. We've told you what your city is. You've got a home, you've got where you work, you've got where you can have your shelter and your food, but like you've got to look after the environment, Jim.
They can 15 minutes suck my dick.
Exactly, bro. But that's where we are. They're trying that in Oxford, geez. But now imagine you've got that happening. You've got a 15-minute city. And you're like, fuck you, not happening. Okay, cool. Boop, on your digital currency.
Greta Thunberg would love that. Sitting there eating fucking worms in a garden for the rest of their life.
Dude, this is a completely virtue signaling operation where somehow the world leaders are just like obeying this prophet who ain't even got a fucking high school education. Man. And you're just like, what?
These people running the planet are sociopaths. They're all part of the same family, like we just mentioned. Same bloodline, same agenda, just control. We all know that. They know that we know that as well. Yeah. Not enough people know that for anything to be done about it.
Did you know George Bush and Obama are related?
Stop.
Yeah, look it up, I swear.
No. All right, okay, I'm looking up right now.
You just said, like, when you said about bloodlines being like, and they're all they literally are, aren't they? Like they're all from the Skull and Bones. You know, so many of them from Skull and Bones. What was that? Like all of that. I think. Yeah, like they'd all do like weird shit together, wouldn't they? Like, and then like, have dirt on each other, and they'd all like come and like Eton school in England. Like, you know, like they're all like the sort of brought up together in the same little cliques and things like that, and
all got fucking psycho parents just want to make money.
Fucking weird, man. Weird fucking. They're like Obama and Bush cousins.
Jesus Christ. Barack Obama often makes a joke in his campaign speeches about a genealogical survey last year that found he is a distant cousin of Dick Cheney, former vice president of America under George W. Bush. Now there is double bad news for Obama. Oh, hello. So The Guardian has an agenda. A new survey out today found he is related to George Bush as well. Researchers at the New England Historic Genealogical Society, founded in 1845, said Obama, the son of a white woman from Kansas and a black man from Kenya, can call 6 U.S. presidents his cousins, both Bushes, Ford, Johnson, Truman, and James Madison. The Genealogical Society, a non-profit organization, found he is also related to Churchill. What the fuck? So that is insanity.
Everyone's all related.
Oh my goodness.
Did you know that even Harry and Meghan, who we was gonna say about the South Park episode that came out recently about them taking the piss, Harry and Meghan are related. You wouldn't even think that. They're like distant cousins as well.
So now I don't. Is there a weird link that they're related? Is it like from both in power? Because like, as far as I'm concerned, she weren't really all that before. Like, she just a chick that got her kit off for Suits and then found her way sitting on Oprah Winfrey's couch and Harry's dick.
Well, Yeah,
Not
I'm
even
pretty
that.
sure she was probably told. I reckon they're probably maybe even told that they was related because
Look at this one. The organisation said it investigated the bloodlines of the three presidential hopefuls. One of the oddest is that Obama is related to Brad Pitt and Hillary Clinton to his partner Angelina Jolie.
What? Obama and Brad Pitt and Hillary Clinton and Angelina Jolie?
so Hillary Clinton's related to Jolie and Obama's related to Brad Pitt.
100%.
Clinton, who is of French Canadian descent on her mother's side, is a distant cousin of Madonna, Celine Dion, and Alanis Morissette.
Bro, 100% those orgies have happened.
What the hell?
Mate.
I'm telling you, it's all about
That is so insidious and just weird, bro. But then you look back and you think of like, was it Genghis Khan? He
Yeah, a
literally-
lot of us have his DNA.
He like literally killed so many people. He reduced the carbon footprint of the earth that you can actually tell, which is when, do you know what the carbon footprint is? Yeah. And like, he just raped and had so many children.
Yeah, but there's like I think there's a stat on how many people in the world have his DNA. Like that's how like he's basically introduced his DNA to like so many of people in the world.
I can
It's
definitely see
unbelievable.
myself as a Mongolian
Yeah.
overlord.
Well,
Fuck that.
Did you know as well? Another one.
Go on.
King Charles is distantly related to Vlad the Impaler.
oh,
Dude, Vlad
is
the
a Dracula
Impaler
himself.
is
Yeah.
so dank. Why is it stuck on here?
He's actually, you can trace his bloodline back to him.
blah.
Vlad the Impaler. That's the story of Dracula, right?
Yeah.
Vladimir Tepes.
And that's King Charles is a distant relative.
I mean, hey, King Charles is definitely sucking some blood, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That adrenochrome shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, baby.
They all do so well for age, like every one of them.
Mm. Yeah. No, he's got like rosy red cheeks.
Yeah, he looks
You know what I
all right.
mean?
He's about 80, isn't he?
Yeah.
Probably
He's like
well,
early
70 odd, isn't he?
70s,
No,
I think.
mate, he
Yeah,
looks
something
good.
like that, isn't he?
Yeah. Prince
How old
Andrew.
was the Queen when she died?
94, 95.
Yeah,
wasn't she?
in the 90s.
Yeah,
She's
well looked after, didn't they?
But mate, this whole story about like people like bathing in the blood of people and like drinking people's blood, it's gone around for years. Like there was this story of another woman that came out of Pennsylvania, that she used to have just like her maids would bring young girls to her and they just slit their throats and fill it into a bathtub and she'd bathe in their blood.
Yeah, who was that?
Yeah, I don't know the name, but like you've heard that story too,
Yeah,
right? And that's a
yeah,
legitimate
from years
historical
ago.
story.
Yeah,
And then you're
she
thinking
bathed in
about
their
this
blood.
whole Dracula shit as well. And then you're seeing all this shit about missing people and adrenochrome. Adrenochrome's got, and they say adrenochrome, the best adrenochrome, it comes from the umbilical cords of like of women under 25 years old.
Your list just disappeared.
Yeah.
Mate, I've cut the umbilical cord from my baby. It is weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing, ain't it? I
See
suppose?
through.
See-through.
It looks like, you know, like that plasticky rubber
Silicon
see-through silicon.
Hmm.
It looks like that. It was so weird. And when I cut it, you could see all like where it would bleed.
Right.
So fucking weird. But yeah,
And then then they tie it into a belly button, didn't they? Right.
no, they just cut it and then it kind of shrinks and falls off.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's fucking crazy.
and then you're left with your belly button.
Do you think when you were like back in like olden days, like in caveman times, they'd ever cut the umbilical cord? Because monkeys keep just their kids loose with them all the time, right? At what point did they decide to break the bond?
I
They
think you
wore
have
them.
to,
Like,
You
anyway.
have to.
Yeah, they must have just bitten it off and eaten it.
wore
Back
it
then.
like a Saiyan with a towel.
Oh, Matt, how is it being? I mean, I know that your daughter is like just so young at the moment, but how is it being a father and seeing just how the world's going, seeing how like men are treated, seeing how women are treated, seeing just
the
what
way the
just
world's
just
going.
what is your opinion of how the struggles that you and your partner go through on a societal basis, like just being just average Joe
Yeah.
heterosexuals going through the world and seeing what your daughter's got to come into? Does it fill you with any sort of dread or like gratitude or anything you're thinking, I can't wait for her to see this, is it's cool?
Well, me and my dad was talking about this last night, actually. Like he brought it up. He said, like, what she's got coming for her. Basically, he didn't say exactly that, but yeah, it is. It's definitely worrying because we like it feels like
Racist.
feels like I can't remember what I was fucking going to say, but it's definitely worrying. But yeah, it feels like the world is hanging in the balance right now. Like we're gonna enter this fucking robotic stage where we've been told how to think, what words to say, and I feel like my child could be a completely different human being to me by the time she's a fully grown woman. You know,
even by the time she's 12, it could be a
it could be something like that we don't recognize as like today. Like we might get there. Obviously, we're going to get there slowly because it happens gradually. But like looking, if we were to look from this point now into the future, what it could be, I think they're going to be fucking weird.
Yeah,
definitely weird. But I suppose that's always been the way.
I was going to say that's probably how every generation's looked and thought.
sure.
But it's just getting extreme.
Yeah, it's
now.
getting more.
It's getting very extreme.
But this extremism, it is also going against the flow of things, isn't it? Right. So I get like they're going against the flow of heterosexualism and Christianity, but there will then be a whole kind of I'm going to break the mold and not be like you guys. Like it has to always pring back, right?
And
And
you get some punks that'll be really normal.
yeah,
Imagine that.
skateboarders. Bring back the skateboarders.
Some really normal punks.
Yeah, man. No, it honestly must be fucking wild. I mean, you are right. We are going into a place specifically about the language, like you said. Like we're being told you cannot ever bring up this word, this subject. You can't question the subject. You can't question the story of the subject. There is no room for error. No matter what concurrent information ever comes out afterwards, you're told this is the path. If you don't stick to this path, you are labeled as this, this, and this. Do you want to know what this, and this are? They're the worst things ever. You don't want to be that way. So the only way to make sure you're not called homophobe, transphobe, narcissist, racist, all that shit is to just
get on in life.
Just get on with life and just not be there. But you can't live like that.
Any credibility lately that has been ruined by that Sam Smith. I think, you know, like he's pushed it so far over the edge now that even a lot of people are like, "Nah, this is too much."
Now. I don't think anyone was ready to see a fat man in dental floss, bruv.
No, it's just you know, like when they said, "Oh, you like fishing?" and he goes, "Oh, I'd like to be a fisherman. I mean, fisher them." And then like he corrects himself, you know, like to like make a point of it, and everyone was in the like.
But then those fucks at BBC were complicit with it, bruv. They just sat there and like, so you like fishing, do you? And they're like, yeah, fisher them. And then all of them just sitting there.
Even
like,
he said fisherman at first, though. So it ain't like, do you know what I mean? It's not like
that's his white privilege just kicking back in every now and then. Fucking prat.
Yeah.
No, mate. It's such a weird time. And it's love is love. Everyone should be allowed to love everyone. I don't see the reason why there should be hatred to anyone. And when I say anyone, I mean anyone that's trying to live just a life full of love and peace.
Just trying to crack.
If that's what you're trying, if you're only ever trying to live a life of love, that could mean that you might be in love with some weird shit, and like that's not good. If you're only in love with, if you're only going after peace, you understand that peace between you and your neighbor is not the same as peace between a nation and a nation.
Yeah.
Right. So love and peace needs to be a worldwide philosophy that you actually holistically run your life at. If you're for that, I'm for you, bro. But if you are after any like disrespect and hatred and patronization and hunting of anyone based purely on like when they are doing the exact same as you, like you clearly are not, you're not holier than thou. You know, your offense does not matter to me. Right? Like you can't just silence people because you don't like what they're fucking saying.
They're
like children.
ones.
They're like when you say it is.
No,
like
the one screaming. Like remember the girl screaming in the thing. She's getting all pumped up, right?
Fucking armpit hair just straggling in the wind.
They love screaming, don't they?
The screams in liberal.
Scripts and liberal. They're the best babies, bro. The one phase, me and my girlfriend, our favourite thing to go and watch is that like social justice warriors. And those just, it's so funny, bro. Mate, it's so good. But it's just, oh no, man, you can't have it. Like, have you ever dealt with a kid that's like, oh, we're coming up to another bit of time?
We'll be, yeah. We'll have
All right.
to
End on
come back to it.
SJWs. Part 3 coming up. Ciao. Hey guys, it's Ben here. We hope you're enjoying this episode, and if you want to keep up with us and support our channel, then please hit the follow, like and subscribe buttons. It really does help us out a lot. Much love. Sweet. Welcome back to part 3. Well, I feel better for getting a lot of that social justice warrior stuff off my chest. It does my head in, because I'm a nice fucking person. I really do believe that, like, I don't have a genuine like mean bone in my body, like, as in I don't enjoy making other people unhappy with my thoughts and opinions. Like,
No.
I like to think that if I've got something to say, it's because I kind of want people to understand where I'm coming from. And sometimes, like, I think
everyone
the way
should
I
be
live
able to voice their opinion.
But there's also moral good and moral right in this world, and I think that's just getting out of it, man. You know, I just think it's important that people are allowed to try and talk about it in whatever capacity they can, because, like we said at the start of this thing, when we ever started it, I'm ready to be wrong. I'm ready to be wrong, and I'm ready to learn.
That's it.
But yeah, man.
Disclaimer in episode 1.
Disclaimer in episode 1. Well, speaking of, ready to be wrong and making something out of yourself, you watched a show called The Dropout?
Yeah, The Dropout. So it's Amanda Seyfried. You know that? You know her?
Yeah, the bird from that Mamma Mia, innit?
That's it. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, she plays the main character. It's a true story.
Now I'm picturing Ben watching Mamma Mia.
Mate, as if you weren't picturing me before watching Mamma Mia. You didn't know me too well, bruv. Les Miserables, High School Musical, that's my shit, bro.
No.
Yeah, bro. I love musicals. Bro, before you talk about The Dropout, okay, so when I was in Singapore, I remember it was like a Manchester United versus Chelsea game, and we would all watch it out the back of Vivo City in Singapore, which is where there's like this huge screen to watch all of like the English football matches was. And all the uni guys like, come on, we're going to watch Manchester United versus Chelsea. Like, we'll come to the mall. Like, and you got like bars outside and beer and everything. It's like, yeah, I'll go. I went to watch Les Miserables. And like, I'm in the mall, and then I've come outside after, and I've like quickly got myself a drink, and I'm like, yeah. But I loved it, bro. I was watching Hugh Jackman. I was having a great fucking time.
Stood up at the end, wiping a tear.
That's it. Red Pebbles, baby.
Have you ever seen Wicked?
I want to see Wicked.
Wicked's good.
See it.
What about when
Want to
have
see
you
that.
seen the clip of the woman doing Wicked and she falls over on stage?
No.
I've never seen it when she's like running and she's like bang flat on her head.
I don't know. Yeah,
Wicked.
we should look that up in a bit.
You should.
But what was he doing? Yeah,
The
the Dropout.
Dropout.
So yeah, it's Amanda Seyfried plays this woman called Elizabeth Holmes, and this is a true story about her. She's like the youngest female billionaire.
What? It's based on a true story.
Yeah. So basically, she tried to invent a home blood testing kit. And it was like this real revolutionary
for what, diseases
idea,
or for drugs or
like for loads of shit, and just like she wanted to do it off of one drop of blood, so people could take these blood tests and then take them to their doctors. The doctors can analyze it and then treat them based on their results. But it turns out they couldn't get the technology right. They couldn't do it.
Right.
Like, she was striving for this dream. Like, a lot of their scientists and doctors were saying, look, we can do it this way, where we can like have
An arm.
a few drops of blood,
Right.
or just other ways. But she was so fixated on this idea because that's what the investors were so impressed with. That's
like
where
a
she was getting all of her
diabetic
money.
thing. They wanted to
one
do like
drop
a
of blood.
diabetes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wanted
blood
one drop
sugar
of
thing.
blood. So anyway, they can't get it right, but they've been given a deadline because she keeps promising all of her investors that she's definitely going to have it done by this date. Blah blah blah. They can't get it done by the date. So what they do is they basically create false results. They just basically get the machines to just give out whatever. So it turns out one person ended up getting I mean, this is a spoiler, by the way. If you want to watch it, I've only explained like the basis of the story. But
and in saying that, you've had enough time to pause it.
Yeah.
So
If you're gonna watch it, pause it now. But you can tell me how it ends, bro.
it's good. I mean, like it's public. Like it's
It's a true story.
It's a true story. So everyone knows what happens anyway. But if you want to like look into the nitty gritty of it, watch this. It's so good. But yeah, so she basically releases the product because she can't get approval from the FDA. They make it a retail product. So they start pumping it out. She makes billions, and all these anyone who tries
23andMe shit, bro.
Exactly. So anyone who tried to speak up basically got threatened with lawsuits. One person ended up killing himself in the company because he was because he had to testify against the company, and he was so frightened of doing it. But he was so torn, like he didn't want to go because he was such a proud chemist. He was the head of chemistry at the company, and he's played by Stephen Fry. And he's brilliant in this program. Yeah, but he's such a good guy as well. The guy that he plays, and he's just so proud of being the girl. No, she's American. But
is he playing in English?
Yeah, he's an English guy out in America. But he's like such a proud chemist, and he doesn't want to just go along with this lie, but at the same time he's frightened in case what happens. So he just ends up killing himself the day before the trial. So like that's like the magnitude of
big pharma at play.
Well, I mean,
they weren't in the big.
They weren't even in
big
pharma, but they corporation. It's just how far they were willing to go, and basically, the wife of the guy who killed himself tried to speak out, and they wanted to sue her as well for like defamation. So they just tried to sue everyone. But it just in the end, this young girl who joins the lab. Speaks out. They threaten her, but she just fucking releases. Like she sends a letter to, I think it's the Wall Street Journal, and that's how they end up getting caught. But fuck me, man, the way because this girl, she starts out with good intentions. She wants to help people. Like she's really smart. So the reason why it's called the dropout is because she drops out of college to pursue this dream. She basically bangs on the door of like this tech company, like this chemistry company, and she's like a genius. So she's got this good idea, and she basically solves the problems that they've been working on for years in one day. So they let her in, and then she tries to build this technology.
Trust.
Yeah, it's like, but as I say, she starts out with good intentions, but she gets corrupted by some of these investors. They get her in this like the money mindset. Yeah, because she gets so close to it, but she can't get the technology right. So she decides to take that step over the line.
The crazy thing is the investors, just because they had the money and not the understanding, they probably thought they was getting into something good themselves. Yeah. And then even they start getting a bit fucked up about it. Like when the deadlines start coming and the fucking profit hasn't been made or whatever.
Well, that is literally the story of this fucking pandemic, man. How many fucking scientists wanted to go and speak out, and then people go missing, people start dying. Oh, they contracted COVID. Oh, they've changed their opinion.
I see something the other day.
Fuck you, bro.
It was a picture of Bill Gates, and it says the man who used to sell you computers, and then the virus, and then the cure, and now he's doing the same with humans. Yeah, like it's crazy, isn't it?
We tried it on the digital landscape, and now he's, evolved into getting it on the human realm. Like, how much farmland does that motherfucker need, bro?
Yeah, it's weird.
Farmland for you and your mates to eat the meat, or farmland to make sure all of us eat the bugs? It's one of two. It's one of two.
Farmland for all the fucking thousands of coffins when they fucking depopulate the earth. Have you seen the FEMA plan?
No.
Well, I mean, I don't know too much about it, and I think it's FEMA.
None of it gets fact checked in here, bro.
I'm talking from my arse at the moment, but I remember hearing about FEMA was stacking up fucking millions of these coffins, these black. I think they were like made from plastic, but they were like.
What is FEMA?
I thought you was going to say about the bone.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the FEMA bone.
FEMA. It's like an organization in America. I can't remember what it stands for now, but I think and
Federal like American Medical
something like-
Association.
yeah, something. And but that's all I know about it. But that's all I remember seeing. Is these just
Well,
fucking abundance of
But,
coffins.
bro, during COVID, when the people were dying by the thousands, remember you were seeing people just get lumped up and burnt in a pit and shit? Like, they're not gonna. Some of us won't get the. I guarantee you, in the next 20 years, the cost of actually having a funeral with a coffin and your loved one buried into a ground in a cemetery will skyrocket. Like the actual
Yeah.
cost of it will
They'll start
skyrocket.
doing them like in the wall kind of things, won't they? I was saying, you know, like because how much
Yeah.
cemetery space is there at the end of the day?
Yeah, for your little metal plate on a
Yeah.
wall. Yeah, bro.
Because how much cemetery spaces is there? Like, you know what I mean? There's
No,
not quite
exactly.
that
How much land can you do? It's not like you make more land on top of it to
Yeah.
bury them. Like, you're not going to go and bury another one and push it down a bit. Oh,
They go
yeah.
up, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, don't.
That's how our
Skybet.
granddad was buried.
Yeah, yeah.
How?
Buried in a wall
Oh, yeah.
in Spain. Yeah,
It's
that's
like
how they do it in Spain.
it's like a
They burn the ashes and they put them in like a slot in a wall. or-
Rocky's trainer, Mickey.
Oh,
yeah.
Always back to the Stallone,
Yeah,
bro.
Stallone.
Always know where we came from, bro.
Stallone and Rocky. They're
Well,
Stallone and Arnold,
Mate,
sorry.
this is kind of like a Stallone Rocky moment here, which we're watching unfold on our TV. It's the build up to Cyril Gahn and John Jones,
Yeah,
baby.
can't wait.
Like, you're talking about the American dream machine in John Jones, who, whilst might have had a bit of a, scrupulous past, like
The
he's
dirtiest fighter of all time.
he's still undeniably the greatest
Yeah,
fighter
he's
of
definitely-
all time.
But he
though.
represents people in general. Like
Hard
no
times
one's
bouncing
perfect.
back. Yeah,
No one's perfect.
yeah, he's the full article. No one's perfect, and
That's what's so good about him.
but also this ain't the fucking tickle and cuddle competition.
Yeah.
This is the fighting competition. And if you think of ever in your life people that don't know anything about fighting, and you think, what do you think makes a good fighter? They'll say wild psychopathic people,
Yeah.
and that is John fucking Jones, man.
If you watch his fights, it's always the start, like just even like the distance management is basically poking someone in the eye.
Look
and
at
then
him. Oh,
When he
God.
does a spinning back elbow, like he does like them spinning elbows, he hits
Top
people
of
on
the
the
head,
back of the head. Like,
And his leg kicks, the open
Yeah, the
soccer toe
knee
kicks,
kicks.
the open stamp kicks to the knee, to the straight lock joints.
they're all
He's
like
just
dancing on
Yeah.
illegal moves. Do you know what I mean? Like they're like
He's
pushing
just-
the line, doesn't he? Like,
He's got a spiteful side.
he is spiteful with it. When he went to go and finish Daniel Cormier, when he came after him, look, flying knee to start a fighting Shogun. But when he was finishing Dan Cormier in the second fight, when he's got Daniel Cormier spinning around the octagon out of control, kicks him in the face, then trips his foot and then elbows him through, and he just fucking just oh my God, he just flopped Lyoto Machida. Like, he's just such a badass, man. John Jones is just so rude with it, just so
he's
powerful.
sick, isn't he?
And his wrestling, like, if Cyril Gahn can't wrestle an Ngannou with one knee, what are you going to do to John
I
Jones,
think it was
man?
both knees were out, weren't they?
Bruv. Yeah, he had both. He was full on like Bobby Lashley wrestler
Yeah,
mode.
it was fucked. Like, but I think Ngannou that day that's one of the best sort of heavyweight.
That was a
performances I've ever
terrifying
seen.
performance.
I think
and,
it was fucking brilliant.
and
that.
we've said it last week before. I'll say it every fucking week. If we do not get Ngannou Jones, I'll be so furious, man, because that's the fight we deserve. That is true ultimate heavyweight martial artist. That could be one of the greatest fights in heavyweight history.
That's like Sting versus The Undertaker.
yeah. The two people you never thought you'd get together.
Mate, John Jones is putting in that work. I mean, he is probably 250 pounds right now. He's taking his time putting it on. Look at him. He is jacked. He looks as big as his NFL brothers do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Like,
can
he's
see
a
he's so
phenom.
much thicker.
He's working.
his face as
yeah,
well.
his
Yeah.
face. He's working with Henry Cejudo, who is like the ultimate strategist for MMA. Like, you looking at his fighters coming out from the Cejudo camps, they are all Leviathans, bruv. And so he's down there putting in the work. And Cyril Gahn, as much as Cyril Gahn's great, I just think Jones has got him.
How long
man.
do you reckon he's had this plan to go heavy?
Well, he's done it properly, isn't he? So he's I mean, you're talking about a man who probably normally walked around at 220 pounds and cut to 205, and now he's 250 pounds, bro. So he's not just made 220 like a casual state. He's now upped it to 250s home. That's £30.
Think how
of
strong
just
he is, though, because
solid
these weights we're
muscle.
watching him lift right now, that's a lot.
Powerlifting. All of it's from powerlifting.
3
He's
reps.
not like, he doesn't look like overly like stupidly muscular.
Not
does he? He
bulging
looks like,
bicep,
yeah.
Arnold
He
mode.
looks
No.
fit, doesn't he? Like fit
Yeah.
and strong, sort of
Like
thing.
a Stipe, like a
Yeah.
strong Cain Velasquez type. Because Junior Dos Santos, Junior Dos Santos was huge, bro. Huge. But nah, man, this is the fight. This is the return of John Jones to the UFC. People might want to have their opinions of him for whatever he's done in the past, his hit and runs, his drug misuse, his pissing hot for fights. But when the man is in the octagon, you watch, bro, because he is
I reckon
the
he's gonna
demon.
kill it.
I think he's back, bro. I really
I reckon it'll
think.
be quite easy for him for some reason.
Yeah.
I reckon. I've got a feeling he's going to come in looking brilliant.
I'd like this to be better than when he first came. When he first came back against Ovin St. Preux,
Yeah.
and it just weren't good. He won, but it just weren't a great performance. I'd like this to be he comes back the way he went against Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
And just fucking katows him, bro. Look, this isn't even a heavyweight Jones picture that they're showing up. That's him at light heavyweight. The Jones we were just seeing training for 250 pounds. He looks gargantuan, bro. Absolutely gargantuan. And Cyril Garn is already just a big fella, but
I think the way that John Jones, though, the way he stitches up his punches to his takedowns and like all of that, he can get so low so quick, and I reckon he can do stupid stuff to Cyril Garn, like ankle picks that he does from
the ankle picks,
all
the
that
elbows,
sort of, just
kick,
everything's gonna be perfect.
Yeah,
I reckon.
Well, Cyril Garn reckons that he doesn't. I mean, we're watching him do some wrestling practice now, but apparently, when he's on his off season, Cyril Garn is legitimately just taking time off. He doesn't train till he's got a fight.
That's what he says.
Yeah, that's what he says.
But how long has he said that for? Because I see that recently, and I don't know whether is that an excuse, built-in excuse.
Could be a building. I think Cyril Garn is a guy that whilst he's finally getting the props he deserves for being an assassin, I think he can't quite believe that he's this good in the UFC. Because France is not known for its MMA, right? And now he is getting on the world stage, but I don't think he's understood in his own mind how much of a big deal it is yet, and he's not dying up the train. Because you're seeing him improve every time, but you're not seeing him dramatically be like, oh my god, he can do this now. Oh my god, he's done that now. His fight against Tai Tuivasa was impressive, but his fight against Ngannou was not a good rap. Not a good rap at all.
Because do you reckon it's in his head that it's John Jones he's fighting, or do you reckon he's cool with it?
I think knowing that he's fighting against Jones, like the smack talk ain't gonna be there in this one. But I think the aura of John Jones brings something to you when he crawls across from you in the octagon and he properly fucking.
Once you're in there, you're in there, and everything that you've been thinking, and well, I don't know, I can only compare it to like the jiu-jitsu competitions and stuff, but like leading up to, I've got a competition coming up, and all the stuff that you think of leading up to it is what you are when you're there, I suppose. Do you know what I mean?
How is your camp?
I've been a little bit under the weather this week, but
getting a lot of sessions in it.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of sessions in the last couple of weeks, and I think it's maybe just sort of caught up with me a little bit, but overall I feel all right, I suppose. It's just the mental preparation for me is the biggest bit, I think. It's the anxieties of it, like proving to yourself and stuff like that more than anything, because you're not going to fucking die in there, do you know what I mean? So it's just a jiu-jitsu competition, but it is everything.
You said you're going to go in with a different mindset.
Yeah, I'm just going to have a different mindset, more of a chilled out mindset, because I'm looking to do a few this year, and I want to have that normalized feeling. You know what I mean? Like even because even we was doing sparring the other day, and Dom, our like one of our coaches, like sort of at the club, brown belt, he was sort of leading the like competition sort of setting like of sparring, and even just the fact that we was pretending that it was a competition, it automatically alters your mind. Yeah, and it's like you already feel like the anxieties of proving to yourself what you're worth and things like this, and what you're like gonna do, and it just by someone standing in the middle making you spud and like go, and it even that's different. Just and it's your friends at the club. Do you know what I mean? And
it is, you can get in your head. I mean, even the interclubs, you know, that we've done,
Yeah,
they're nerve-wracking as well.
and they're all your
'Cause there's
mates.
something
You see
on the
all
line.
the time. Yeah,
And everyone's watching you. Like usually when you're sparring at the club, everyone's
It's just
sparring each other. No one's watching each other, so it's all just
Mm.
that between you and your partner. But with the inter club, it's like competition day. That's how I felt anyway. I felt nervous.
and I think in the room you could feel everyone had a piece of their self that day that they weren't happy with. Like, do you know what I mean? Like there was an outcome. Like I felt tired. There was Yusuf as well that like he was doing well for some rounds, and then like a couple of rounds I think he felt a little bit disheartened, which is normal because you just like, I suppose everyone's just feeling like sort of the pressure of it all. Like you're putting it on yourself.
Yeah.
I think and it like, and just like to see that from like us lot like that day. I was like, usually we're all relaxed, we're all having a laugh. Like one of us takes each other down, one of the others laugh. But in that setting, it was more, come on. And you sort of come into like, you've got to
You're
like
at war.
meet to someone's demands. And it's like, and you think to yourself, fuck, like this is actually quite different. Like usually you can take a second and stay in a bad position because you're feeling a little bit lazy. But when someone's shouting to you, like, come on, like get in, like get out or whatever, or get up. And it's
just tough
yeah,
when you're completely and utterly gassed.
Yeah.
And you're getting like, you go shrimp out,
Yeah.
shrimp, and you're like, God,
trying,
I've got nothing left.
But
but what mindset are you going to go into with this tournament now?
With this tournament, I'm just going to look at it as like, because it's a big bracket. I've noticed that there's about 15 people, I think, that are like all together, like signed up like properly and sort of pending payment, whatever, or what. But for this one, I'm not going to go there with that sort of like gold or nothing, because you can still make good like sort of gains on your sort of skill set, and like you can learn a lot from these things, even if you gain like a silver medal or a bronze medal, or maybe if you do well and in such a big division don't even podium, like there's still some stuff to take away from it, even if it's just the experience of
battle experience.
Just the battle, exactly, like you're saying, like just sort of like just getting that experience in. But you know what I mean, I do expect a medal. Like I do think that I have submissions and stuff, but like there's definitely like sides to myself where like there's still doubt, you know what I mean? Because I've done 4 competitions spread out over like 2 years or so. So it's like
a bit more consistency.
there's no consistency there. So that each time the feeling's fresh. And
you just got to turn up to these days and these competitions and just treat it like an open mat.
Yeah, that's
sparring.
And then when I get a bit more confident,
do your best.
I feel like I can more definitely expect golds and things like that. But, I mean, like I know people, or I've seen people like that haven't really started winning competitions until they're purple brown belts. Do you know what I mean, or whatever? Like, and it's like, but some people, they compete all the time, don't they? I suppose, like, and it's more normal to them. But it's still part of it. I mean, it'd be good if we could all get out together one day, you know what I mean? Like the 3 of us and compete together one day.
So how long before your competition now?
March 18th, and it's February the 26th. So about 20 odd days.
20 odd days. So what sort of do you have like a game plan to get yourself mentally ready, and how long is that going to be, and like what will that entail?
I think just getting in some good sessions in between now and then, like just sort of fundamentals, like for me, escapes, working on escapes. I don't want to like, I feel like I've got submissions I know I'm very good at, like that, say like a straight footlock, things like that, and like the triangles, Kimuras and things like that. But I'll stick to that, but I'm just going to work my escapes, because them moments of, just them moments of getting pressured are the most important to overcome, I think, and being and working on my pressure from top, like, and wrestling up. That's the main things I'm going to work on. It's definitely just that, basically. I'm going to put myself in some pretty disadvantaged positions up until then, like for escapes.
Yeah, you just got to be really comfortable in these situations when it comes to it, because you know I felt like remember our second competition, was a bit of a disaster, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like we hadn't trained properly, You know, it was the training wasn't really consistent. There was no rhythm to it. So it was, and we were smoking a lot of weed.
Yeah.
You were just drinking a little bit when you.
I think I was drinking like I think I was smoking and drinking that night in the early hours. I think I'm pretty sure.
Do you know what I mean? And I just had a completely different mindset to what I've got now with jiu-jitsu, because back then, you know, when you start, you want to learn the best submissions. Don't you? That's everyone's first.
Yeah, you want to know how to do something devastating.
You want to know how to win. Yeah. So, and people often overlook the escapes, and you know, and that really showed in that competition, because this guy was just. I was trying, you know, he basically put it on me first, like straight away in my fight, and I was so prepared to do submissions that I was completely fucking caught off guard when he shot him for a double leg. That I was thinking, shit, man, I need to get back into a neutral position, because I haven't prepared properly for these positions at all. I mean, I was still a white belt at the time, but it was just like, I think on those competition days, they can show you where because it stands out more than a sparring session. You know, you could lose like 3 in a row and, you know, only pick up one thing that you did wrong. But if you're in a competition day, you can really, you know, people often record you, you know, when you fight, like when you get a friend who comes along and they'll record your fight.
Pressure enough in it as well.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But I mean, you can look back on that and really learn something, you know, and you can challenge the way that you think in those situations, because like the adrenaline's pumping and a lot of shit goes out the window and you forget so much. So I mean, you can look back on yourself after and think like, I could have done that so easily. I could have done that so easily. If I didn't feel like that, I probably could have won this fight.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it is about just showing up to these things over and over and normalizing it. Yeah, you know, and feeling comfortable in those situations. Just treating it like a sparring. Just treat it like sparring. You know, if you lose, you lose. You know, go to the next one. Because again, like because we were so sporadic with how often we competed, I've competed twice. Like competitions outside in my two and a half, nearly 3 years of jiu-jitsu, 3 years this year. So yeah, that's why it was so nerve-wracking on that day, because the time in between our competitions was so vast. It was just like starting at square one again. The nerves were they just get to you. Not because you're necessarily scared, it's because you want to win so bad.
Yeah,
you want everything you want
to prove to yourself.
Do you know what I mean? So it gives you that, like, oh, if I lose this, and then that becomes your central thought. If you're doing loads and you know after this competition you've already got another one booked, just relax, turn up.
That's it. That's why I'm going to book the one ahead.
That's how I want to try and approach the next ones.
And how much is it to book each of these competitions that you guys do?
It varies really.
I haven't booked one yet. I want to get one in April, I think. But what are they? How much did you pay for that?
From like anywhere between 20 to 70, 80 quid. Do you know what I mean? Like anywhere from that sort of range. Like, and oftentimes these places do like discount codes and stuff like that for their things, which I fucking forgot to do. But,
no, man, it's good. I'm looking forward to watching you compete, man. You've been training so fucking hard.
Cheers, man.
But yeah, man, what a time.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. But yeah, I still think we should just definitely all do one day. A hominid day out.
A hominid competing day out. Yeah, well, man. I was in the worst shape of my life 2 weeks ago. Like I know my club was gracious enough to grant me my blue belt, because I've been training hard and I'm good at skill acquisition. But like 2 weeks ago, I was honestly the worst shape. Like just since November kicked in, I just weren't training consistently or even hard or smart or well. I was having way too much just bad food. And this week, like I've really, well, in the last couple of weeks, I've just really stepped it up. I'm running every day. I'm training well, and I'm just making sure I'm consistent, doing something every single day to improve my body and get better. And already I'm feeling the benefits and the difference. So I want to see where this influx of cardio and better training will make my weight become after like a month, and then I'll know what I can actually start. Do I deliberately cut down with a diet? Do I change my training zone? But as long as I can just be consistent and good and stable for a month, I'll know that, you know, get my body somewhere where I want it to fucking be.
Yeah.
And then we'll see.
Should we come back in the next, or are we?
I'll say let's go and call it on this one,
Yeah.
brother. It's been a
Yeah,
nice
alright
fucking
then,
day out. Let's go and carry on with our day. Looking forward to Jake Paul knocking the fuck out of Tommy Fury later.
Well, are you rooting for?
I'm
Jake
rooting
Paul?
for Jake Paul, man. I want to see this happen, bruv. I think the
It
world.
would definitely be interesting.
I think the world is a cooler boxing opportunity.